back to the channel. Dane Scott from Dane Scott's Truckers Lounge. Of course, we're getting the coffee out of the way first because that is of the utmost Truckers Lounge importance. But today is a day that wasn't supposed to happen. You guys may recall back in October, I was out of room because I had 4 trucks here. And I was kind of frustrated because I couldn't get my cars serviced in my lift because I had the cracker box parked there and the other trucks, you know, here. So I had 4 trucks in here, so I was full. So what happened was I sold it. I sold the 79 Astro, named Astro Vader. So I had room, and I was like, cool, I'm back to having room. Well, that changed. Because as you guys have seen the last few videos, I bought the 71 heavy Chevy dump. With the 671, thank you very much. Detroit, yes. But anyways, this day has come, and this day is going to be one where I got to move everything around. Not everything, but we got to make room. We got to get the heavy Chevy in here. Had to put a new clutch master cylinder in it first so we can get it to move because we knew it ran, but the clutch was froze up. So we got that done yesterday. Mr. Wizard helped me do that. And so we're ready to rock with that. So today, what I have to do is I have to unseal the big doors, and I have to move Joyride, the Pete, right outside. I'll back it across the street, open that up, and then Blue Jay's got his own cubicle back there, so he don't have to move. But the Cracker Jack is going to pull out, and what we'll do is we'll move him right over here underneath the lift. So Cracker Jack goes here, and then Joyride is going to get turned around and backed in, and he's 25 feet long, which is right to that door, so it'll be perfect. Each one of those uprights is 5 feet, so Joyride will be to there, and then the heavy Chevy's about 19 feet, so it'll come to right there. So it's going to be perfect for the door and for tilting the hoods, I do believe. I'm pretty sure, you know, I've taken my measurements. I've been thinking in my head here. If you see smoke coming off of my head, I've been trying to figure it all out. So anyways, got the Truckers Lounge all prepped and ready, got junk moved, and we're ready to start moving some trucks. So hey, stick around town. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button because it really helps out me to keep putting the content out on the channel.
Painted sky in a sunset scene, through the window of a GMC, white lines and lighted signs, got me hypnotized. There's nothing like the feel of the road, and the smell of the diesel smoke. Another 10 or 20 miles, I'll be pulling in. This thing.
So let's get this show on the road, shall we?
13 years just laying it down, driving my GMC. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Been sitting for months, fired right up. City Use brought to you by BRUNT, transforming high-performing workwear. There ain't no flip-flops in this truck. Awesome.
Alright, give that a shot.
Alright. Huh?
Stop wasn't off all the way.
Okay. Try it again.
Yep.
Helps to have the stop off all the way. Okay, we got them sandwiched in here. Got to move some stuff. That stuff won't be there. We'll have plenty of walkway. That'll be moved. Haven't moved everything yet, but it's in here. The cracker box fit nicely right under the lift. The Pete sits back nicely right where I thought it would, right at the door. Plenty of room to walk around at, and I even think that if need be, you know, that can, the hood can get closed and the Pete's got room to flip up when we work on that. So I think we're good. So now I just got to get back and go seal up that door before it turns crazy cold again next week. So the timing was right. Another procedure well done, thanks to Mr. Wizard and his expertise and help. We got the hydraulic clutch installed, master cylinder installed. We didn't need to get a slave cylinder. We were going to do that and just order it, and then I said, well, let's check one item at a time. Kind of saves on the pocketbook. You guys know what that's like. You know, we're not Mr. Deep Pockets here, so we try to be frugal and let's take one thing at a time. So luckily it worked out. It was just the master cylinder for the clutch. Slave cylinder works. We got it moved, started, got it inside here, and I cannot wait for this truck to dry off and to dig into it and give it the Dane Scott's Truckers Lounge treatment. So this will be day one of the heavy Chevy rejuvenation. I really haven't named this truck yet, so I just refer to it as the heavy Chevy. That may stick. I don't know. We'll see. At any rate, so the first thing to do is to dry this truck out because there was snow in the bed and it had been outside most of its life, at least in the last several years, and everything's just sopping wet. So had to get the old crap out of the cab. There was old carpet in it. You know, you can imagine the rat feces, all that garbage. You know, just had to get it cleaned out, but I had to get it dried up first. So I ran the dehumidifier since yesterday, and I'll tell you what, it has dried this bad boy right out. So I've been scraping, been wire brushing, took out the seat, of course, and I may rejuvenate that seat because it wasn't bad, but we got to get all this dried out, which it almost is, wire brushed, cleaned, and then it's going to get painted with the paint that you put on it to, it's not really paint, it's a rust neutralizer. I'm going to rust neutralize that whole cab interior, and then I'm going to see what I need to do. I know the cab is pretty shaky. I mean, actually it isn't. It's kind of solid, but it's got a lot of, you know, obvious stuff that has to be fixed. But I mean, it's still solid. I mean, the truck is still solid. So I'm checking into, after I get this all rust neutralized, possibly doing some urethane work and sheet metal. We'll see. And maybe I can even do a little MIG welding to it. We'll see. I think I can, and I think I want to. I know guys want me to change out the cab, but this truck is what it is. It's got character, and it's a former anchor clanker. So how do I know this? Well, as I pointed out in the last video, the absence of clearance lights. No clearance lights on the cab whatsoever. Also, the fact that they trimmed these fenders. These fenders are normally go straight across. That was a common thing. They would trim these because the bumper that they had on had the support going up top to support cars. So they've trimmed these fenders. They're not straight across like they're supposed to be. That's number two. And of course number three is the real giveaway. Look at the leastway blue underneath the dark blue. That is the anchor freight color, and that is under everything. So I think this is an anchor clanker. There's room here for a tag axle. Don't know what all those bolt holes are, but we're going to get under there and investigate. So yeah, that's what we're doing. This side's got to dry out a little bit more. It's a little bit further away from the dehumidifier, but I'll get all the rest of the junk off the floor. We'll get this cab all cleaned up today as far as wire brushing and dry and shop vacuuming it out. I've already started scraping, you know, a lot of this sticking up paint, and somebody put, you know, a thin skin of Bondo or glazing putty on it before they painted it. You know, all that's kind of coming up. So we'll see how I'm going to handle that. I may chip it all off and repair it as I can. I mean, it's still a solid front end for it. Solid down there. But it's a challenge to me. I want to do it. I want to meet the challenge. I want to do a little MIG welding and metal fabrication and body work and paint, and yeah, I want to do that. I'm like, this is like my comfort zone. This is where I want to be. I'm not looking for museum trucks. I'm looking for rejuvenated, old school with history trucks that the history hasn't been removed from them. It's still got that connection. So we'll see what I end up doing with it. And I'm also still throwing around the idea that I might keep the dump on it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, is it not wise to get rid of a dump truck? I mean, I got plenty of tractors, and it would be cool as a road tractor, which it was before the dump was put on it, but I don't know. I might need to keep it as a dump truck, so time will tell what I decide on that. So first thing I'm going to do today, a buddy of mine wanted to know what kind of dump bed's on here, so what we're doing is we're just kind of carefully trying to get this paint off of here so I can find out exactly what it is. See, there's some numbers up there and there's some numbers down here, so hopefully I'm going to be able to find out, you know, what dump bed's on it. And I'm kind of growing fonder and fonder of the dump bed, so I still might take it off, sell it, scrap it, I don't know. I thought I would show you the process, or kind of the process, of lettering the grille for the Chevy C90. I took the grille off, roughed it up, primered, repainted silver, and then I was left with the task of relettering the letters. These are called pre-spaced lettering, and the plotter cuts out the vinyl, and then you put application tape over top of it, and you'll see how that goes. And you may have seen me do it already, but you can see it lines up pretty good. It's going to be off a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't think anybody's going to be out there with a ruler making sure that it's not over the embossing. So it should lay down pretty good. Yeah, it's going to be really close. So I'll do those, and then if you notice, there's these little embossed lines, and those I'll also fill in with just probably 1/8 inch, maybe 1/4 inch, because by the time it goes down over the ridge and down and comes back up, it's probably 1/4 inch. So I'll put my black lines in there. Okay, what you do is you put these down where they're supposed to be, and you put masking tape and you make a hinge. Okay, so all 3 of these pieces are hinged. Usually you would use a squeegee to come across here, but since it's embossed, I'm going to use my finger, and it's small enough. So this is fresh paint. I don't need to do any prep with alcohol like I would normally do on a vehicle. Pull the backing off and come across it through the middle, and then press out down into the embossing. And what I'll also do to help the vinyl set into the embossed areas, I will heat it with the heat gun. So you want to come back at an angle and roll it with your finger, catch it, bring it back at an angle on itself. See how I'm pulling down and coming back with my finger, pulling down, because I don't want to pull this up. Okay, so now I'm going to heat that up with the heat gun, warm it up a little bit, press it down some more, and then presto, we're done. What do you think? So I decided to paint the inside of the light bezels black and leave the chrome, or I should say silver, around the outside. So got that all masked off, and we'll paint those black to match the rest. So there you go. It's almost complete. Have to put the lines along the top and along the bottom yet. Glad that's done. So let's see how it looks. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results. You see, if you do these small things, you keep yourself encouraged. When you look at an old truck and you look at all the work that it needs, when these trucks come in here, you gotta gut them and start scraping and just, you know, cleaning and sanding, painting, fixing, all kinds of stuff. And you can get discouraged. So what I recommend is the Dane Scott's Trucker's Lounge way. Give yourself some gratification. Do some projects along the way that you can sit back and say, man, looks a lot better. And then move on to something else so you keep encouraged. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So listen, get to work. Quit drinking so much coffee and keep the hammer down, safe and sound.